Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. But right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've had this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
And welcome to Tuesday WTF Nation Radio. I am your host, Grey Cloud. I am joined by Minx. Say hello, Minx.
Oh.
And Owl. Uh-oh. We lost Owl.
How'd we lose Owl?
I don't know. That's not good. Owl, if you're listening, call us back here on the station. That's new. I was not expecting that. Oh, there we go. Maybe I can get this figured out.
Owl is being bounced.
Ow. You there?
I'm here.
Woohoo!
Figure this shit out.
Yeah, we're working on it. We tried something new tonight. It did not go as planned, so apparently Grey Cloud has to invest in more equipment to make it more gooder for everybody. But yeah, so here we are, Tuesday, April 3rd, and we got a show for you guys tonight. First, Al, how was your weekend?
Not bad, especially after Sunday. Doing the first time with Kicking It with Cause was very nice. That was a nice start, and hopefully we'll keep it expounding and making it more fun. How about yourself?
Not bad. It was another busy weekend, like always. Traveling, school, and whatnot. But, it is what it is, and just keep going forward. What about you, Minx?
Oh, goodness.
Uh-oh, this is going to be good.
I taught my 3-year-old nephew how to play beer pong.
What?
You heard me correctly. I did not stutter.
That is the most southern thing I think I've ever heard.
So let's all just throw this out there, right? He was not drinking beer. He was drinking water. All right. We are responsible adults. So I was drinking beer. He was drinking water, but he was my partner. Dude, he was carrying my team for a little bit there. Like, he scored the first shot on a fucking bounce. and I was just like, God, like, the 3-year-old is better than me right now. Like, I was not prepared for this at all. I was like, damn it. So I had to, kind of step up my game a little. I was like, shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Other than that, I had an epic water balloon fight with my siblings. There were injuries. So I'm, allergic to latex, right? And what are water balloons made out of, if not latex? Mm-hmm. And so when my oldest brother, was pegging me with these fucking water balloons, which, they're water balloons. They don't hurt. Mm-hmm. But I definitely got welts from the just mere second contact that my body had with latex. And I was like, that's nice. Let's see. I definitely pegged one of my nephews in the face with a water balloon, like right above his eye. And I was like, oh. And then my oldest brother definitely nailed one of his sons in the balls.
Wow.
We're like, oh, man, down.
Vicious.
Oh, yeah.
She is not holding back.
No, it's battle royale. Like, I don't think you guys understand. It's battle royale.
Apparently
when
not.
we get together, especially the siblings and water balloons are involved. Oh, watch out.
I'd hate to see you guys with punji sticks.
Oh, Lord. Don't tempt
We beat
her.
the shit out of each other.
Wait, you do or you would?
Both.
Well, there you have it.
Right. Oh my God, exactly. Cause I will never snort a latex condom.
Oh,
Sheepskin,
Lord.
I might. No, I'm not gonna do that ever. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we're going to cover that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, we got a good show tonight. Tonight we have David Keuhner from Honor Brewing Company joining us tonight. It's gonna be a good show. They got a good mission. They do some great products. I'm enjoying one right now, and I'll enjoy some more when they come on. It's gonna be awesome. But man, it's been an interesting couple of days into the week, and it's only fucking Tuesday. It's only Tuesday,
Right?
and so much shit is going on already.
Dude, seriously.
What do you want to start with?
We can start with this whole condom thing.
I knew that was what you want to start with.
Well, okay, so Amory King actually just put out a Facebook thing that says, all these kids snorting condoms are the result of parents who also didn't know how to use condoms.
I saw that.
Amory, touche, yes. That is completely
It's got something there, right?
But no, this is goddamn ridiculous. Like, I found this article that said, the viral videos posted on social media show teenagers snorting condoms as part of a so-called condom snorting challenge. In the videos, teens put an unwrapped condom up one of their nostrils and inhale until the condom comes out their mouth. Like other viral challenges, the condom snorting challenge has been around for years, but has recently reemerged on social media. In San Antonio, why does it have to be Texas? Stephen Enriquez, who teaches drug and alcohol prevention to parents, has also started to teach parents about dangerous online trends like the condom snorting challenge. Quote, because these days our teens are doing everything for likes, views, and subscribers, as graphic as it is, we have to show parents because teens are going online looking for challenges and recreating them. And this isn't the first time that teens have done questionable things in the pursuit of internet fame. In 2012, more than 50,000 YouTube video clips showed a group of young people swallow a tablespoon of dry cinnamon with no water, gag, and spew out a cloud of orange dust as part of the cinnamon challenge.
I remember that.
You remember? I remember.
I remember. They forgot to carry the one.
Hell yeah. Just before the new year, a spout of teenage poisonings were reported in the U.S. as a result of the internet-based dare encouraging youth to post videos of themselves biting or eating Tide Pods. And this has resulted in poison centers reporting 142 incidents in January alone. So while teens may think the condom snorting challenge goes without consequence, it can in fact be dangerous. Bruce Y. Lee, a Forbes contributor and associate professor of international health at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, said in a recent column. Lee writes that with the exception of doctor-prescribed nasal sprays, anything that goes up your nose can damage the sensitive inner lining of your nose, cause an allergic reaction, or result in an infection. He also notes that the condom could get stuck in the nasal cavity or the throat and cause someone to choke.
Jeez.
Oh my God. I am honestly dreading. I work in ear, nose, and throat a lot.
Oh my God.
the day when I get, especially if I'm on call, like I am tonight,
Oh my
I'm
God.
starting getting a call at like 2 a.m. Fallon, we have to take a condom out of some kid's fucking nose. Because I'm going to respond with, are you fucking kidding me right now? You're calling me in the middle of the night because this motherfucker. And then, like, I know, like, I would have to be, like, on my best behavior because, professionalism. But at the same time, like, as soon as this kid is asleep, I would probably smack the shit out of him.
Holy shit.
No, I wouldn't be the only one. I know my nurse would do it, and I know my anesthesia would do it. And I'm pretty sure my doc would do it, too. Be like, you fucking idiot. Oh, my God. Could you imagine if it was a kid who, like, was doing it for, like, just the shits and giggles, and they're, like, had no idea they had a latex allergy?
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
Glee. And your sinus, that's a mucous membrane cavity.
Yep.
So it's going to get right into the bloodstream.
You are toast.
And right? That's your, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I hope you have an EpiPen somewhere nearby because.
Well, if they don't know they have the allergy, then they probably don't.
Their whole airway is going to close up. If they don't have an EpiPen and get that shit in them within seconds of any sort of reaction, the whole airway is going to close up. They're going to die.
Ooh, emergency tracheotomy.
Yeah. Right?
With keys. Yeah, with keys.
Oh, that's not a real thing.
I've watched a video. I watched the training video going through combat lifesaver courses. It's a real thing. They do it. I seen the videos. It was on the intertubes.
Oh, and if it's a video, it's real.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's on the interwebs, it's real. Duh.
Right? Oh, don't you worry, Dale Labs. We're going to get to that shooting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So in case you were living under a rock for the last, 30 minutes, nation, as you can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen there, there's a breaking news of shooting at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California, and the female suspect is dead. We will get to that story. I don't know if we're going to get to it in the first hour or the third hour, but we will get to it. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
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 So, I mean, I know this, and I seriously want your opinion as you being in the medical profession in that field. As you start to see these challenges, right? First, it was a cinnamon challenge back in 2012, like you said, and then the Tide Pod challenge, and now this condom challenge resurfacing.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to come to a point where they are? Now, got it. All these things. If you obviously Tide is bad for you, it's laundry detergent. Cinnamon can cause some serious issues. It's with an allergic reaction, just like the latex can. My question becomes, is the medical community worried that there could be a point of no return, i.e. they start doing like real shit, like, oh, the rat poison challenge, or, antifreeze, something that is so dangerous.
The antifreeze challenge.
The Mountain Dew.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry to be laughing, but I just read Cos's comment. Kid, because he snorted a rubber. Easy procedure to remedy. Kid leaves the hospital with 2 black eyes and a laceration on his forehead because the hospital staff kicked his ass.
That's one way to solve that.
Right? Do it again, motherfucker. No, I mean, there's always going to be stupid people, and let's face it, I would not really have a job or have such good job security if there were not stupid people. Same with first responders, same with the emergency room. Like, we kind of thrive off of stupid people as much as we hate them.
Mm-hmm.
It's your bread and butter.
Yeah, like it's, oh my God, like, honestly, well, people, like, kids shove shit up their nose all the time, like, but I say kids as in toddlers, because they don't fucking know. They're like, oh, this is neat, I wonder if it can fit here. Oh, there it goes up the nose.
a crayon end. The crayon ends, the little tiny
Yeah.
pieces of plastic.
Buttons, fucking
Boxcars.
batteries. Yeah, and shit goes in their ears too, you know?
But they usually learn at that point. That's the sad part about it coming back as young adults.
Right?
Yeah, it's not like these are, well,
And
let's face it, some of them are young.
That's a very good point, is that, you know, most kids, again, I say kids because, you know, at the time they're children, they learn that maybe I should not oh my God, Dale. My kid's called a jingle bell and I could shake her and hear it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing.
I don't know whether to be proud or proud.
Oh my God.
Well, like Oz just said, there's a reason there are warning labels, people.
Ugh.
Because at some point in time, someone was stupid. And then, like, you know, tried to go after the manufacturer or whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know about you, but when you see a kid and you know the forceps that I'm talking about, the long, nasty ones that are going to scare the piss out of those little kids.
I really don't. Like, I work with instruments every day, so you must be talking about the bayonet ones that go, like, specifically. They're designed specifically to go up your nose.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not that scary.
To a little kid?
I mean, all right, maybe.
See, that's the whole idea is, you know, scare the kid enough, they won't think about it again.
Mm.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, but honestly, I think that any teenager or, you know, early 20s person who comes into the ER with a condom stuck in their nasal cavity
Oh my God.
they should have it fished out without anesthesia.
Oh, are they using anesthesia to get it out?
You have to.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, it's in your nasal cavity. So what they should do is be like, you want to play stupid games? Here's stupid prizes.
Just rip
And
it out.
fish it out without anesthetic. Be like, sucks to suck, nerd.
Oh my God.
But that's just me, and I'm evil like that.
Well, and that's where you want to hold up because they want the attention, hold up the video camera as they're screaming without the anesthesia.
Yeah,
Right?
get away
And
with
like
that?
we'd have but honestly though, you know, we'd have to strap them down.
Oh,
yeah.
really? That sucks.
Otherwise they'll move too much.
Oh, well, and stab themselves while you're working?
Well, exactly. So we'd have to restrain them.
What's the downside in that? I'm just saying.
I mean, if consent is withdrawn, then it's considered torture. So we'd have to be careful.
Damn it. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, right. If the safe word is given, we have to stop.
What if you didn't give them the safe word?
No, the safe word in medical is stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no fun.
It's nothing exciting. It's nothing like pineapple or like some random German phrase. It's stop. I don't want to do this anymore. And then we have to stop. Oh, I just saw that gay little purple flower. Where is that?
Didn't you ask that last time it was floating around?
Like, honestly, I just saw it pop up and I've missed that gay purple thankful flower so much. Like, there have been so many times where I'm like, I could use this. So many times, and I can't.
And nobody says who's using it. That you notice that it never comes out in the comments who's using the purple flower.
I need it. I need it in my life.
Purple flowers.
Just because, so I can be like, yes, I'm so thankful for this.
Ugh. Tide Pod challenge. Tide.
Right? But and then the cinnamon one though is that adults were doing it.
It's because adults are stupid as well.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Just people in general are
Well, yeah.
insane.
You know,
Everybody wants their 2 seconds of fame.
Yeah. And that's just it though, is that with today's society and how everything revolves around social media and becoming famous and how everyone wants to become fucking famous and be on TV and like live in Hollywood. Trust me, people, Hollywood is not that great. Like, I don't know if anyone has like seen any sort of recent footage of LA.
It's not that great.
It's like a third world country right now.
San Francisco's the same way, though, right?
But LA is even worse.
Okay.
Unless you're making a whole lot of money.
But it's downtown Hollywood. Like downtown LA, like Hollywood, all the like upscale areas, quote unquote upscale. No, they look like third world countries.
Oh, that's terrible.
So I don't know why everyone, like, I don't understand why people want to be famous. Like, these people are miserable.
You know. So Dale's got a good one. Ghost pepper challenge.
Nope. You can have that all day. I know Ice would probably get in on that shit.
Yes, this is so delicious. It doesn't even bother me.
Him and his ghost pepper with the kimchi.
Woo, 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 ghost pepper.
As he fucking shits out fire. It's so worth it.
As he's dying the next day.
Oh, my butt. It was so worth it, though.
You gotta have something to do when you get this old. What the hell, right?
I guess.
Oh my god. Oh, hooray. So obviously there's going to be a another challenge coming. There's going to be. Oh. Okay. So last night I touched on it as we were ranting about two things mainly last night, but he touched on the Hogginator and Hogwatch. What the hell was it? Hogwatch? Was that the fucking site? I don't know. But there's a no shit website that monitors David Hogg's activity apparently.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah. So every time he speaks or whatever, or anytime there's a news article or a video clip or whatever, it gets posted on this website. And what's interesting about that is it's like everything, like whether it's fake or not. If he's like mentioned apparently, or if he's a part of it, it gets thrown in there, which I found very, very interesting. And that's somebody who's got a lot of time on their hands. But I found a story I want to talk about, which I find very interesting. The story is dated yesterday, last updated at 22:11 Eastern Time. How Parkland students feel about their new mandatory clear backpacks.
Oh my god, yes. I was hoping we would talk about this. Yes.
This is one that's, so the story is from CNN. Survivors of school shooting in Parkland, Florida, returned from spring break Monday to new security measures that some students said made them feel like they were in prison. Majory Stoneman Douglas students encountered security barriers and bag check lines as they entered campus Monday morning. Inside the school, administrators handed out the students' newest mandatory accessories, a see-through backpack much like the ones required at some stadiums and arenas, and an identification badge that they must wear at all times. The bags were yet another stark reminder of how much had changed since former students stormed the hallways on February 14th, gunning down 17 people, Junior Kai Korber said. First, students lost their classmates and teachers. Now, with the bags, they're sacrificing their privacy for what he and others considered an ineffective security measure. It's difficult. We all now have to learn how to deal with not only the loss of our friends, but now our right to privacy. My school was a place where everyone felt comfortable. It was a home away from home, and now that home has been destroyed, he said.
Gee, that wasn't predictable.
Yep. The shooting galvanized a student-led movement calling for stricter gun laws, and some students used the clear bags to make a political statement. Korber and others attached an orange price tag to their bag. The $5 tag is intended to protest politicians, including Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who accept money from the National Rifle Association by putting a price on each student. We are doing this in order to demonstrate the fact that we stand together on all issues and that we, as a student body, refuse to be reduced to nothing more than dollars and cents, Korber said. Senior Delaney Tarr tagged Rubio in a tweet of her of a picture of her bag with feminine products and the orange price tag attached to it. Quote, starting off the last quarter of senior year right with a good old violation of privacy, end quote. She said in another tweet. In addition to displaying the orange tag, senior Carmen Lowe stuffed a sign into her backpack that read, quote, this backpack is probably worth more than my life, end quote. She also wonders how students will carry sports equipment, instruments, and laptops. Many students are actually unhappy with the clear backpacks as they believe that it infringes on their privacy, so they wrote messages on pieces of paper and put it into the clear backpack, she said. We come to school to learn, so I don't think that we should need to subject ourselves to these measures. We shouldn't need to worry about our safety or our security while we are at school. The story continues. Kober thinks metal detectors would be more effective than clear backpacks. Just implement a system that works, similar to what they do at courthouses and the airport, he said. It's terrible that girls will have no privacy concealing their feminine products, and these bags won't last a week with real textbooks in them. Metal detectors are a better solution. The school district said it's considering whether to install metal detectors at the school's entrance. A letter from Principal Ty Thompson sent to families on Friday said that step has not yet been taken. Clear backpacks may deter some from bringing weapons into school, but without metal detectors, people can still conceal them in folders or in papers or in between papers, Junior Elizabeth Pfeiffer said. The story continues. Everybody's going on and complaining about the backpacks. But so there's a couple key points I know all three of us want to touch on here. And I'm going to be the first to say it. Sucks to suck. Kids, you wanted to step into the arena with adults and start demanding change? And you want to be adults and you want to try and dictate policy and how the Constitution should be interpreted? Welcome to the real world.
Actions have consequences.
Sucks to sucks, nerds.
Exactly.
You want to climb into the arena, you better be ready to be hit.
They're lucky that more hasn't been taken away, and the fact that they're piping up now, so they're going, oh well, we want metal detectors. Hey, fine, they're going to keep doing that, and that's going to take more and more money, and that's, and that means they're going to lose more and more from their schools. But hey, they're going to be secure the way they think they need to be secure.
Oh, and here, go ahead.
All I'm going to say is that, the founding fathers, when they wrote the Fourth Amendment, they were not thinking about your clear backpack. But no, in all reality, they asked for big government to step in, and that's exactly what happened.
And they got it. And now they're not happy.
They got what they wished for. Was it specifically what they wished for? No, they wanted more government, though. And that's exactly what they got.
Oh, and this is the great part about this story. And backpacks won't prevent firearms from getting into the hands of dangerous people in the first place, she said. It wouldn't have prevented the February 14th rampage because the gunman was not a student.
But he brought the weapons in with a backpack.
You mean criminals are going to commit crimes anyway?
What?
What?
Whoa.
Are you serious?
Newsflash, man.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Do you actually think this irony dawns on them?
Well, my big question is, there are a bunch of kids who are upset. And not everyone is agreeing with these little punks running around saying, hey, we want gun rights. There are kids who are just sitting there going, saying, this is your fucking fault. I'm surprised at this point we haven't heard that they've gotten the shit beat out of them.
Oh my
Peer
God,
pressure.
Hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were about beating up the people with the clear backpacks.
There you go.
I'm just sorry. Nerd. So
I mean, come on, peer pressure, people. You have a little girl saying that she was a bully. Well, hey, why don't we go ahead and use peer pressure and show her what happens to bullies along with people who sit there and misrepresent you?
Yep.
So, also, it's not a violation of privacy rights because it's on school grounds that she willingly goes on to. So, and doing such is subject to rules and regulations of that property. Same reasons the government can inspect you for dangerous items at government buildings.
Right. So
Don't sign up for private school or homeschool.
And
there are still public schools that have mandatory uniforms.
Yeah.
So be happy, little chick. They don't decide that they want you to wear specific clothes, so they can make sure that if there's a bulge, they can go and start do a search on you.
Right, and the school acts in local parentis in most districts.
Yeah.
I.e. in place of the parent. So, in theory, you really don't have... the school can step in and act as your parent and search your shit.
Yeah, at any time that they want.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, again, go to private school or go to homeschool.
Oh, yeah. Go to private school because their rules are so much better for you. You think you got rules now?
Wait.
Bring out that ruler.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. It floors me that I don't really think they're grasping the irony of what they're saying.
They don't because, again, they're not paying attention to fucking class. They're not paying attention to their fucking government class, their civics class, whatever it fucking is called in their school. They're not paying attention to it. Or the teachers are teaching a specific curriculum that is spun a certain way.
That doesn't happen.
Well,
No.
and it goes even further. They're not paying attention to their parents because parents, I mean, all you have to do is watch a little while and you'll see actions have consequences.
Right, but they don't want to think about that. They don't want to think about the secondary and tertiary effects of anything they want to have happen.
No.
They don't. It's too far. It's too hard for them to comprehend. Why? Because they're not developed enough to understand what secondary and tertiary effects even are.
But yet they're telling us we need to hand over our guns.
Right. Nobody should have this weapon. Nobody should do this. X, Y, Z. Blah, blah, blah. Well, sucks to suck.
Yeah, it's, save the children.
Yeah. Wait till you get into a real job. Especially if you work anywhere, in the military district of Washington. A lot of these rules are in effect to begin with. Right? So good luck getting a job and where you can not have any of these rules. Unless you own your own fucking business, right out of high school, you're going to be subjected to somebody else's rules.
Well, all of that, but then also this whole preconceived notion of privacy at school. Your school has the authority and the very right to toss your locker if they want.
Yep. They don't even need fucking probable cause.
No. They can do just a random inspection. Bring the dogs. Search all the lockers.
Yep.
And like that's something that like you almost sign up, like when you sign up for school, like in the beginning of the school year, you're like, yeah, I agree to this.
Yeah, and the kids just don't quite get, they don't have that understanding because their parents aren't parenting. They're not telling them, what you're doing right now has something coming to it. You really want to think this through before you say you want it.
Right. But also you are in high school. What the fuck are you taking to school that requires any sort of privacy?
Apparently feminine hygiene products require privacy.
No, it really doesn't. Every chick over the age of 16, 17, 18 at the latest has their period. It'll be okay.
No.
Yeah, but girls are supposed to hide that from us men. We're not supposed to see that stuff.
Yeah, about that. Throw it at you. I don't care. I've done it too. I've whipped tampons out and I've thrown it at dudes who are acting bitchy. I'm like, here, go change your fucking tampon.
Here's the other kicker about this, right? It said they made them feel like prison. They're in prison. One, how do you know what prison feels like? And two, if you really want to know what, if you want it to feel like a prison, I'm sure your administrators could accommodate that.
Oh yeah, they have programs now, reality shows about that stuff.
No. I'm talking, you want to go into total lockdown? They're talking like TSA security and shit like that, right? Okay, you can't bring any food in from outside. You can't bring any liquids. You have to purchase everything inside. Oh, and you can only purchase what we approve you to purchase. I mean, we'll take your shoelaces from your shoes, right?
Okay.
You can't have anything that individualizes you because you might get beat up for it in prison. So if they really want it to feel like prison, I'm sure that could be accommodated for them.
And if they don't watch it, that's where they're heading.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, inner city schools, like especially those in Chicago, New York, Baltimore, Philadelphia, they
already got that.
Those kids have to go through fucking metal detectors and have their bags fucking x-rayed.
Yep.
And these fucking bitches are complaining about fucking clear backpacks. Oh, it violates my privacy. You are a child. You have no privacy.
Oh, I know.
Especially at school.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you? What the hell do you need privacy for? What are you trying to hide?
So I know a high school in Colorado after Columbine redesigned their lockers. The lockers have clear plexiglass around. So it's a metal frame with a clear plexiglass main part of the door. It still locks, it still secures, and they're pretty sturdy lockers, but it's clear and you can see into the lockers.
There's that fucking flower again.
And again.
A good point. The schools here in Killeen have metal detectors. And we're not even a big city. But goddamn, we've got fucking metal detectors in our high schools and middle schools.
Dale in Facebook Live, more than likely it would come out of the school's budget. So they'd have to either, if it's not in the budget already, they'd have to figure out to raise the money via bonds or some other tax or whatever it is they could pass to support that monetary requirement for those magnetometers. And the correct term is magnetometer, not metal detector.
I'm going to call it a metal detector.
That's fine.
Thank you for allowing me to call it whatever I want.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's just it. More and more, they're pushing to, well, where's the money going to come from, people? Your parents aren't going to be happy when they get that money taken out of their house taxes or their land taxes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be another assessment against the when they do the yearly assessment for property values.
Oh, those are so much fun.
Oh, people love that. Shut up, Dale, just because I know.
No, but it's just aggravating.
Yeah.
But do you need clear bags if you go to a sporting event? Like, if you go to any sort of major, like, professional sporting event, you cannot take a bag in there unless it's clear.
Yeah, NFL, MLB, NBA, and the NHL have all adopted that policy.
It's been like that for years, and yet nobody's giving a shit because everyone's like, I have nothing to hide.
Yep.
So who the fuck cares?
But now it's the kids. Oh, come on. It's the kids. They're speaking up. We have to listen to the kids.
Oh, they can go suck a dick.
Basically, yeah. I'm on Minx's side on this one.
They're going to go suck a condom.
Snort it.
Oh,
they snort it.
I'm going to get their ass whooped by me.
Yeah. So it's
Minx the motherly type you are.
Yeah. I just don't have any patience for bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm an awesome aunt, and like I definitely like take on a motherly role when it comes to like my friends' kids and stuff. But I don't put up with shit. Like, especially whiny shit where they're like, "Oh, life's not like it's not fair. Congratulations, life is not fair."
Right.
The sooner you figure this shit out, the better you're gonna be able to like cope as an adult.
Yep.
Exactly. I mean, the first thing you do when a kid gets near a light socket. Well, you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
Well.
Here's a fork, Junior.
Oh, that hurt! Whoa,
Yeah,
you flew good.
Don't do that again. Let me go reset the breaker. So here's my other thing about this, and Ice mentioned it last night. The hog thing and the hog phenomenon, whatever you want to call it, right? And the attention he's garnering, this whole thing about him not getting into certain colleges and whatnot, and blah blah blah. And I brought it up here, and I want your guys' opinion on this. Is that I compared it last night to the Tim Tebow phenomenon, right?
Yeah, good one.
It is, because Tim Tebow brought a media circus with him, and it wasn't. Granted, now Tim Tebow didn't do it through his own doings, right? It just followed him. It's because of his personality.
Yeah.
So, but you look at the attention that Hog is generating, right? Do you really think a tier 1 college wants to deal with that shit?
Nope.
No way, no how.
Do you think that weighed into their admissions decision at all?
Probably most of it.
Has he not gotten accepted into college?
I don't know. All I know. Oh, so here's the other kicker about that. He announced that he got turned down for his top schools. Right? Okay, that's fair game. You threw it out there in the public forum. That's fair game, right?
Well, and I think the thing he thought that would help is the fact that, well, he's got these great liberal leanings, and what are colleges?
A lot of them are liberal leaning, yes.
But they don't want that media circus. They don't want anything called attention to them. They got stuff going on they don't want people to see.
Yep, and I really think that weighed in, whether it's going to be official or not. I think that weighed into some of their decision.
Oh yeah, would you want a kid who sit there as such an activist, and he comes in, and think about the fact that those colleges are not perfect. He's going to bring attention to any of the imperfections just to keep on social media.
Right, he wants to stay relevant.
Exactly. He wants his 5 seconds of fame to become a couple years. Hey, go through college. Hey, let's start talking about frats, and let's start putting bars on windows, and let's start prohibition at colleges because alcohol is bad for you. And I mean, we can keep going.
Right. So here's the other thing about that. Him being he's a high schooler, blah blah blah. Right, motherfucker, turn 18 and enroll in college, and people are going to fucking destroy you. You think it's bad now? Become a quote unquote adult because apparently you can sling mud, but you can't take it. Because you're only a fucking kid.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. Let's not start that tinfoil hat tonight.
Convinced he is a crisis actor.
We're not starting that tinfoil hat tonight.
Oh, that's fine. Thanks.
I know what you're saying.
I'll go with you on that too, Minx.
It's out there. But anyways... Wait, can't we get the time traveler on on Jay Reddy's show to confirm or deny that for us?
Right. Exactly, cause he has the eyebrows of a 35-year-old. Exactly.
That's
impressive. And his skin, I'm sorry, his skin does not look like he's a teen.
It's too taut.
Yes.
Right? All that Botox. Honestly, he's got the same expression. No, like seriously, he's got the same expression no matter what sort of like thing he's doing with his face. There's no wrinkles anywhere. Botox, I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Or it's an elaborate ruse.
No, it's not. It's not. Hey, the 1930s called. They want their slang back.
Wow. All right, this has been a good first hour,
Mm-hmm.
and we've only covered 2 topics. That's amazing.
No.
Yeah. So Nation, we're gonna tease some upcoming topics here. The YouTube shooting. The YouTube headquarters. We're gonna cover that in the state with the strictest gun laws statewide. It's amazing how that happens.
Guns weren't supposed to be able to make it in.
Oh, but
And especially, I mean, and if it came from that person had to have been doing okay because the laws work there.
oh yeah, they work so well. We're going to touch on some, let's see here. Ooh, I want to talk about in the third hour for sure, the meeting between Putin and Trump that's might be coming here shortly.
That ought to be interesting.
Yeah. So before we break, newly discovered brain injury in vets linked to PTSD.
Uh-huh.
Minx, I don't know if you've seen this story or not, but the quick synopsis is that doctors are finding scar tissue in brains of combat vets who suffer from PTSD. Were exposed. The other thing is they were exposed to high explosive blast waves.
Mm-hmm.
So
TBI.
Yeah. So what they're thinking is discovery could mean that many cases of PTSD, long thought to be mostly psychological illness, may be actually caused by physical brain trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, from a medical standpoint, would that change how it is treated?
As in treated like a actual injury?
Yes, as an actual injury and not psychological. Yeah.
They've got treatment for TBI that are out of the box thinking that work, and I've heard the same thing, and what you're saying, the treatments that work for TBI that are out of the box, in other words, not standard treatments, are actually very potent, and because they're being told that they're PTSD and they aren't, this could make a big difference in how they're handled.
Minx?
Oh, sorry. I was typing out a comment to Facebook Live.
Oh.
I was distracted. Sorry.
It's all good.
I don't take Adderall anymore, so I can't. It's hard for me to really multitask. Because I have to severely focus on I've trained myself to actually focus. So when I do that, it's really only on one thing, and everything else just kind of blurs out in the background. So I'm really sorry.
No.
They've made some really great, Cloud. They've made some really good strides on treatment for TBI to where they can actually get, because some of it comes back to the concussiveness. They've actually gotten healing down to where you can get back to what would be considered normal, almost to where you were within a year or two, if treated right now. It's just getting the VA to accept that.
So what's it going to take to, and I got it, with anything, that a new medical discovery, whatnot, trials and tribulations and shit like that. But do you think with this discovery, it could be fast-tracked? I.e., could it be put in the hands of vets sooner because now there is something tangible that we have here?
It depends.
How so?
Because there's still going to be the checklist that people are going to have to go through and meeting certain criteria, and which that sucks, but that's what we've got to do in order to properly screen people and make sure that they get the best treatment that they can. It takes a while. It's a process, and I understand that. And believe me, I understand why people get frustrated with the process. But in the end, like, we have to make sure that we check all the boxes to make sure that we're able to treat you the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to come up with a test before they do anything. And coming up with a test, they don't want to have to sit there and open up every vet's head just to check. So they've got to come up with some way. I mean, is there a chemical? Is there something being released? Is there some sort of way to test for a tissue?
Is it dense enough to where it shows up on an MRI?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that they've got to explore before they can say, okay, definitively we can say this. Now we're, instead of going to call you PTSD, we're going to call you TBI.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So in the perfect world, it would happen overnight, where we would get the answers to all these questions, and where it would be like, oh, every veteran who suffers, or every veteran in active duty who suffers from PTSD has this scar tissue in their brain, and this is what's causing it, and this is how we can fix it. However, like Owl said, we can't just go in and do a craniotomy on everyone.
Right.
And then again with same thing with, once we do discover the scar tissue, how do we remove it? Because it's in the brain and it's so well encased in the skull and the dura and everything, getting that removed, would that potentially cause more harm in actually creating more scar tissue?
Right.
Or are there any treatments out there that can negate the scar tissue and get it to reabsorb? They're basically they're going to throw up a flag and say, okay, time for a bunch of committees.
Yep.
Okay.
And a bunch of tests, and that's when they're going to start. That's when they're literally going to ask people to volunteer to be literal guinea pigs, which is how most medical studies are conducted. They ask for people to volunteer for medical studies, so you are literally a guinea pig, and it's no guarantee that anything that they do to you is going to work, or that it's not going to make your symptoms worse.
And usually at first it's the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oftentimes making the symptoms worse does not make them get, like, they're not able to have them be reversible,
Exactly.
So that's where you really have to be careful on this.
Right. Man,
I personally, in my area where I work with Holistic, I've at some point I'm going to bring in some people that will actually talk about hormone therapy. They've actually found that women's hormones actually help the brain heal. Now, no guy wants to hear that they're going to be on women's hormones for a year and possibly start growing parts or shrinking parts. But the result is, and they've proven it, the brain actually heals much quicker and much better.
Really?
So there are things out there. It's just, again, they've got to evaluate.
So again, I'm not. Minx is well versed in medical information and studies and whatnot, so I like to lean on her for these opinions. I just think it's a great step in the right direction on helping vets re-identify what's actually might be wrong with them, and not sticking that label of the PTSD that everybody's so scared of. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. How long ago was this study, or when did it start? And do you have that in front of you?
This came out. The story is dated. it's a 60 minutes edition that aired on April 1st at 1900 Eastern. But it does not give. I don't see a date of the study. Hold on, I can drop a. See if I can drop this in here because I thought I. Oh, it's in the. Or I'll drop it to you, Al. Stand by.
Okay.
That way you at least have the whatchamacallit.
Well, yeah, I remember a while back hearing something of the same. It just may have taken that long to come to fruition.
Okay.
Joe brings up a good point. Why pick brains or boobs when you can have both?
Wow. And on that note, it's top of the hour.
Thank you, Joe.
So, Nation, in the second hour, we're going to have David. Oh, man, I'm going to slaughter his name again. There it is. David Keuhner from Honor Brewing Company joining us in the second hour. We're going to talk about his company and what they do and their mission. So be sure to come back for that. And in the third hour, we will be talking about some other things to include the shooting at YouTube headquarters in California. So I want you to stay tuned and shots.
Shots.
Woo!
Take this photograph, tell me what it is to see. When you look at me, deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you, because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you, cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know, cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain, and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know I'm breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier. Green beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see today. In a constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Get peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media betrayed me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe. And like you see, I see. And like you need, I need. And like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
The time you waste and your tables overturned. Sooner or later you crash, then you burn. I think I wanna die tomorrow. And are you gonna be with me? I think I wanna die tomorrow. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. The simple ways come and go. Still I love the way you turn me on. But I just can't find the words. 'Cause everything I say sounds so absurd. I think I wanna die tomorrow. Tired of being with me. I think I wanna die tomorrow. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. But it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And it's so embarrassing that I can't let go. I think I wanna live tomorrow. So will you come and breathe with me? Think I wanna live tomorrow. Tired of being with me. Think I wanna live tomorrow. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you need. I don't care around my heart. Just instead of watching bleed. I don't wish upon a star. 'Cause I don't care who you are. 'Cause I'm out of time and I'm out of my mind. You can't save me if I can't save me. And you won't follow if I keep falling in. And you won't listen to what I'm saying. 'Cause I'm so broke.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
We are back. Oh, I gotta click the thing. Aha, here we are. It's been a while since I handled buttons, nations, so please bear with me again tonight. All right, so we are back for the second hour of Tied Up Tuesday, and we are joined by David Keuhner from Honor Brewing Company. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I found you, and I've had your product, and I'm enjoying one. I enjoyed one earlier. I had the cherry wheat a little bit earlier, and now I'm enjoying the maple porter night vision.
Excellent.
And I'm brandishing it on the camera.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I've read, I've got you pulled up, and I've read what your mission's about. But I'd like you to tell the nation your mission, the brewery's mission.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. Our whole goal was to obviously make great beer, but was to honor those that serve our country and give back to charities of the fallen and the injured. We come from a long history of families between myself, my business partner, Alan Cage. Our families collectively have given over 100 years of service to our country. And, it was just one of these things that do something bigger than yourself. And I'm a big believer, when you eat, you drink, you smile. And we can't change anything that's happened, but what we can do is we can honor somebody and we say thank you.
Nice. So how did you guys get your start?
Yeah, it's I'll make a long story short. 9/11, I had started another company with a business partner of mine, and I guess you say, fortunately, I changed my flight. I was supposed to be on a flight that ended up in the Pentagon.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and our office is literally a mile away from National Airport. And my wife was pregnant with my son, which just turned 16 last month, when the first plane went over and hit the Pentagon. And, we looked at it as, I guess, moments like that sort of change your life, of course. I got stuck in Nashville for 5 days. My mom couldn't talk to me for roughly 36 hours, and ended up driving home. And I met my business partner now, that we've done business together now for over 10 years, Alan. And Alan and I connected on, an emotional level and a personal level. He retired from the U.S. Army as a Cobra pilot, 24 years. My father was Special Forces and helicopter pilot in Vietnam for 2 tours. And, we just connected. I lost my dad after 2 tours of Vietnam. And it was one of these things that we just wanted to do something different. And, just like I said before, I'm just a big believer. We eat, we drink, we smile. And why not try to help in the same token?
Yeah, it's again, it's a great mission. Nation, if you don't know where they're at, it's honorbrewing.com is their website. They're also on a Facebook page at Honor Brewing, and I follow you guys, and I see some of the things you guys do, and the events you host, and a glass a glass in honor is raised in honor.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing to me how much you guys give back already.
Well, this is the thing that for me is, I met a woman just over 4 years ago that called my office and said the boots on that bottle were her son's. And it sort of took me back a little bit. And eventually I understood that I was talking to a Gold Star mom, and she had given up her son, Lance Corporal Levy, December 10th of 2011 in Afghanistan. And it was one of those things that when you talk to a mother that's given up her son, in a lot of ways, you don't know what to say.
Right.
And, she educated me
She's
on what it was to give back and what it was to be able to honor somebody. We've been blessed on being able to help raise and give back over $250,000 in the last 3 years to charities of the fallen and the injured. And, ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, we want to raise and give back as much as possible.
God, that's awesome. So tell me about Gold Star. So I'm looking at Gold Star Toast. I'm looking
Yep.
at Gold Star Mother's Day. It's interesting that you set this aside, and I understand the Gold Star mothers and Gold Star families
Sure.
are near and dear to everybody's heart that is served and whatnot. So Gold Star Mother's Day, tell me about this.
Well, the challenge is we did a survey 2 years ago, and we asked one question. Do you know what a Gold Star family is? And so the cherry wheat that you had earlier today, if you look on the side of the six-pack carrier, that six-pack is dedicated to the Gold Star community. And unfortunately, when we did our survey, out of 20,000 people, less than 2% could answer the question.
Oh, wow.
And now if you think about it today, we've been in the longest war ever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's over 6,800 Gold Star families that clearly don't want the title.
Right.
And yet people don't necessarily know who they are. And it's not that they want to be recognized, but they want to be known for the sacrifice that their sons or their daughters have given for our country. And I guess you could say we wear our emotion on our sleeve a little bit, and we wanted to do something about it. So we set out every single year now. We're going into our now third year on Gold Star Mothers, Gold Star Family Day. We honor 2 to 3 people a day, and all we do is tell their stories. It has nothing to do about selling beer or selling T-shirts. It has everything about telling a story that a mom or a dad has written about their loved one. And it's as simple as being able to reach out to the families that we've met and say, listen, just tell us your story, and we want to be a part of you to be able to tell that story to anybody that's willing to listen. And last year we had over 500,000 people that came on our website or came to Facebook through social media to be able to read the stories of heroes that gave their life for our country.
Holy shit, that's awesome. 500,000.
Yep.
I'm just taking it all in. When I looked at your site and I've looked at everything, there are some people that will sit there and they'll talk about, we give to soldiers. You actually are really trying to honor the soldier. The word honor, how did that become your flagship name?
Yeah, well, to really sort of reach into what you just said. So a member of my team is in Southern California right now, and we're launching a new partnership with a distributor out there. And the first text message I received this morning, she got there last night, and she said, where are the guys buried that we are representing in Southern California? So it's a part of our culture. So she went to visit those people today. And, I tell people all the time, it's beer, it's wine, but do you really know what it means and what's behind it? Honor came about. I'm a horrible sleeper. I don't sleep very well. And my wife, which is upstairs right now, she will contest to this, is that it was one of those things about 6 years ago. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And having spent so many years in the hospitality industry, I guess you could say, we live close to food, wine, drinking. I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And really the word of honor popped into my head. I guess my whole family and everything else that's been involved And here we are. I mean, I really honestly do look at my son a lot. Is that we've been at war for over 16 years. And there was potentially a time that I wasn't going to see him ever again, let alone my daughter that's now 14 years old. And honor popped into my head. And I joked around and said, I think honor's the name. And, you know, it's one of those things that when you think about it, right, is that what does honor mean? And in the whole legal world, is my trademark available? All this stuff you think of. And,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. And honor was available.
Wow. That's even surprising.
Yeah, right. We were totally shocked. And I went to my partner. I said, honor's available. And we said, okay. And then the boots, to me, the boots were significant in a way that everybody has to wear the boots. Whether you're a man, a woman, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Navy, Army, Air Force, you have to wear the boots.
Well, good call. Good call with that, because I mean, I when like I said, when I looked, I kind of look at people that come through, and some people really mean what they say, and some people, well, you know, they've got something there.
Yeah, understood.
And you really, I mean, several times I sat there saying, okay, I can't look at this. I'm getting ready to tear up here. You know, the onions are getting cut. And not to get you off subject, but since we're going to talk about, and since we want people to participate, okay, let's get into your product, and let's include the gear, because I saw some pretty cool gear.
Yeah, we have some fun stuff. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I talk about this all the time. Is, you know, we have a pretty, one of the things in talking about gear is, you know, people, you put your cans and your bottles and your tap handles, all this stuff out there. And, you know, we have a can that is called Faces of Honor, and all the faces around the can are holograms of men and women that have given their lives for our country. And I went back to the families and I said, just give me whatever you feel best represents your loved one. Mm-hmm. And so you'll see some people on there, they're like saluting the flag.
Are we losing them?
And it's the coolest stuff. Oh, and, you know, I'm going there to fight. They're the loved ones. And then you take something like our tap handle. We have a tap tribute tap. Set of dog tags into the tap handle. And for us, the goal is to be able to honor those closest to where they grew up. And the families write a card called a tribute card that is the story of the man or the woman behind the tap handle. For us, it's not a tap handle. It's somebody that gave their lives and somebody that served their country, and allows the families to be able to tell us the story. And, you know, I always joke around this. They can do whatever they want. And Mrs. Lamb.
Hey, David, if you can hear me, it's
Yeah,
cutting
man.
out really bad. Nation, we're gonna have him call back in and see if we can't get a better connection. Because I know it's got to be frustrating on both ends. So David, we're gonna cut out and then we're gonna call you back.
Cool. Right on.
All right, one sec.
This is an awesome organization.
Yeah, no kidding.
man.
I mean, and I mean, I really am curious because I mean, I can't drink alcohol anymore, but I mean, some of the flavors that Grey Cloud was talking about.
Oh, it's delicious. So
I mean,
of everything they
I'm a
have, the maple porter is the best.
See, I'm a cherry lover, and the fact that you sat there is, oh, I'm just sitting there going, oh.
Let's see, David, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let's see if this works. All right. So just recap the Al was talking about the swag that you guys have. The tap I found very interesting, and you said the dog tags get attached to it.
Yeah, so what happens is the dog tags slide into the top of the tap handle, and the families write a tribute card about the young man or the woman behind the handle. And so what we do is we launch those handles in the states and in the cities of where those young men or women grew up.
Nice.
And for us, it's it's not a tap handle. It's somebody that gave their life.
Right.
And the families reach out to us to be able to honor them. And I tell them it's their canvas. They can tell whatever story they want. And I always tell the story about a woman named Linda Lammy. Linda's right outside. She's in Georgia. And her son was member of CAC unit out of Fort Stewart, Georgia. And when she wrote his card, I said, ma'am, you can write whatever you want. And the first thing she said is, if you ain't Cav, you ain't shit. And I said, done. This is awesome.
Oh my God, that's awesome, because that's the I cut my teeth in Cav, cut my teeth in Third Armored Cav Regiment, and yeah, that's the mentality.
I love it. And just to put it in perspective, I've grown so incredibly close to this family. One of the things that as I said earlier, when we eat, we drink, we smile, we have a good time. Her and her husband, Gene Lammy, they just built us a custom smoker for pit barbecue.
Oh, nice.
And drove it to my house. And they said, and what they did is they actually embroidered the whole entire pit with their son's information and my father's information on the side of this pit that we carry with us to every beer event that we do. That's awesome. And, for us to be able to meet and to be around these families, it's, yeah, we want to help. We want to be able to raise money. We want to be able to sell beer and have a good time. And that's what it's all about, and for these folks, they show up, they have a good time. We all have a good time.
And that's what it's all about.
And that's it. I can't bring Gene Lammy back. I can't bring my dad back.
No.
But we can honor
But
them.
we all can hang out and have a good time, and we can honor somebody.
Yep. So
okay.
I know Minx has got a question.
Okay, so it's mostly on the basis of, one, do you guys ship out of state?
Well,
because I feel like this is unfair, especially for me living in Texas.
Right.
I'm not able to partake in.
So, yeah, I get it. Well, that shows up with beers in it, then I get in trouble. But about 2 weeks out,
I think we lost him again.
Yeah, I think so too.
David, you there?
no. Luke.
David, you there?
Yeah.
It's up. All right. Last thing anybody heard was about 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
What's his position with the microphone?
I don't know. I think it's more connection than anything.
You
Yeah,
think?
I'm
Right. Dave, we're going to try and call you back again. Hold on.
He did. There was a storm moving in, so.
That's true.
That's true.
1 sec. Man, God, he was giving Mink some good information and then nothing.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
We'll see if we'll try a different way to contact him. Stand by. See if it's any
I have
better.
so many questions, mostly on the types of different kinds and
Yeah, exactly, right?
Right,
I
we'll
mean,
see if this
the flavors.
and the honor wine.
Hello, here.
All right, David, you there?
Honor wine.
Hey,
All right, so we tried a different way to contact you. Maybe this will be a little more sturdier connection.
yeah. Do you want me to give you my home phone number?
Yeah, send it to text, message it to Spanky.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
That'd be me. You
Yeah.
all right, because I know you know me, by my other name.
No worries.
Gotcha.
But no, Minx, I'm sorry. I'm looking and I'm showing it and it's delicious. Oh my goodness. The aromas, the taste.
I can't drink alcohol, and that stuff's even torturing me. Well, I used to be a big lover of wine, and then I moved out, of all things, I moved out to Colorado country and ended up liking the beer too.
Yeah.
Well, we started off in the wine business, and we still are in the wine business.
See, there you go.
But see, the problem is I can't drink
Well,
now.
right. Now.
I made the decision. I didn't like the what it does to my medicine.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, understood. I met with a farmer the other day that's helping us gain access to stuff for our smoker for our events, and he said, if you give me that beer, I end up in chrome bracelets. And I'm like, done, no problem. I won't give you the beer.
Yeah, well, with me, it's more it actually interacts with my medicine, and I don't get what I need.
Got it. Understood.
But I can still sit there and think about it a lot.
Right.
So this connection's actually holding pretty well. Dave, if you're all right with staying on this connection, is that all right?
Yeah, right on. No, I'm done. Yeah, that's cool.
So you were saying that about 2 weeks out, and I know Minx had asked you where you could. Is there a plan to get out more?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, the way it works, being able to drop ship product, straight from property, all the states are different in their legalities, and so we're just launching in Southern California, and the nice thing is we'll be able to start shipping to multiple countries, or multiple states, I should say, in the U.S., and so we're probably about a week to 2 weeks out from being able to ship across the United States, which is going to be great for us because there's so many awesome families and cool people that clearly want the product. But one of the big things for me is I've met so many families that have served with, and so many guys that have served with members of our fallen that they want to be able to raise a glass in their honor. And when we go to all these different areas and states, we're now 13 states in the U.S. for distribution, and we get to meet so many cool people, which is probably the biggest thing that I appreciate. And like I'll be going to Southern California again here soon, and we just launched a tap handle in LA Dodger Stadium in honor of a local fallen hero. And for me to be able to give that message to his mom is pretty cool.
God, that's awesome.
So what, so Honor Wine,
Yep.
What kind of wine do you guys offer?
So today we make 5 different wines. We make 2 out of the Paso Robles region, a white blend and a red blend out of Paso Robles. And then we make they call it GSM, which is Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre, which is in generally a French blend out of the Rhone Valley, and we make that out of Mendocino and Lake County. Then we make a Russian River Pinot Noir, I guess, for me personally, my personal favorite. And then we make a Cab Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot blend out of Napa Valley. And we got started in the wine business, and it still lives today, which is awesome. Matter of fact, we're having 16 barrels that we just got done producing of our Russian River Pinot. We're having the empty barrels shipped back to the East Coast for us to make beer in. So we're going to have some fun beer happening in those barrels when they get back.
Yeah, that turns out to be some really awesome beer. I've known a couple other breweries that have done that, and it turns out to be phenomenal.
Yeah, well, we're going to look at doing it it's going to be a special release for Veterans Day, where we'll donate 100% of the proceeds to a charity of the fallen and the injured. So we'll probably end up doing it in big bomber bottles, 750s, but maybe we'll have a few kegs to have a little fun party with. But, you never know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So I have a story to share with you, David.
Yes.
So this would have been February of 2017, we'll call it, I do believe.
Okay.
And you were driving in your truck, and a gentleman on a Harley-Davidson V-Rod pulled up to you, gave a quick salute, and drove off.
Yes! I know exactly what it is. Yes!
How was that rider?
No shit. That's awesome.
Yep.
And so my whole thing, people always tell me, it's like, whatever. I mean, I drive him. Yes, I do. And I'm getting a bigger truck. And the thing is, on the back of my truck, there are 3 guys, dog tags back there. And when we launched this company, it's hard for me to explain what it means to me, but obviously one of those tags is my father's. And the other 2 guys on there, one's not with us anymore, Lance Corporal Levy, which his mom works with me now. And the other young man is a guy named Corporal Christian Brown that received the Silver Star for trying to save Levy's life in Afghanistan. And I tell people all the time that when we decided to start all this, we launched a bottle of wine, and we knew what it stood for. We knew what we stood for, but honestly, at the end of the day, you never know what's going to happen. I've met 6 guys that served my father that went to OCS with him at Fort Belvoir in 1966 before they all went to Vietnam. And And, now I've met multiple people that have been with Christian and been with Jacob that day when all that stuff went down. And, Christian's back in Tennessee now. He's missing half of his body after stepping on an IED. And that guy, I'll tell you, he changed my family. He changed me, he changed my family of what it means to survive. And I joke with him because I love him to death. He's the biggest goddamn redneck from Tennessee. I love him to death. But goddamn, he is a pain in the ass, just ornery Marine. That's all he is. And I love him, and he knows I love him, and I'll do anything for him. But he did teach my family what it means to be able to give themselves and to be able to serve. And, that has sort of put us in a place where now we've been able to honor over 1,000 men and women that have given their lives. And all these families, I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and I'm trading text messages with families out in Southern California right now because we're launching out there, and they're going, thank you. And they don't have to thank me. This is the fun part,
Yeah.
Did you tell them you were going to be on tonight?
I did. Yeah, we posted on Facebook, but now this is so freaking funny. I can't believe you're the dude on the motorcycle. I love it. But, you never know who you see, right?
Yeah.
You have no idea. And it is like people look at me, they see the boots, they see the honor, they see all the stuff. And my wife's like, you're crazy. I'm like, and my father-in-law and my wife's father-in-law, he 2 tours in Vietnam as well. So it's in the family, I guess, but you never know. To me, we just want to do something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah. So,
that's really it.
Again, it's an awesome mission. I wrote you that night and sent you that email.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next morning or the next day, I went to Total Wine in Sterling.
Yeah.
And I found the beer.
I'll be at Total Wine on Saturday from 4 to 7 in Reston, the brand new one.
Okay.
And we have 2 new cans. One's called Desired Effects, which is actually a really funny one because the federal government originally denied me on the label of Desired Effects because Desired Effects, they thought we were going to get people fucked up. And I'm like, no.
Well,
I'm like, Desired Effects is the outcome of the battle. I'm like, do we want casualties? Do we want capture? What do we want? And originally then the TTB said, yeah, cool, no problem. And but originally they thought we were just trying to get people drunk. Yeah, God honest truth.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll be. So I'll be there tasting, having a good time on Saturday at the new one in Reston. So drive your bike over, and we can have some beers together. But it really is. It's the coolest thing. I have a hard time explaining it sometimes to people. If we all just do a little bit, it amounts to a lot. There was just a young man killed in Syria on March 30th. And, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but out of sight, out of mind, we don't hear about this stuff anymore.
No.
And, this kid, this Master Sergeant Dunbar, was hit by IED. And, his family doesn't want the star. They don't want the Gold Star status. And unfortunately, they got it. And so, he's out of Austin, Texas. And, what do you think the families are like down there in Austin, Texas right now? When people keep on signing up, and that's sort of their jobs, they They sign up, they raise their hand, they volunteer, they do something that, frankly, nobody else wants to do sometimes.
Yep.
And I think it was 2009 or 2010, Forbes magazine said, the worst job in America is that of an American soldier.
Yep.
And if you really think about the worst job, you've seen dirty jobs, they stick their hands up cows' asses and stuff. That's a bad job. The worst job in America is not that of an American soldier.
Yeah.
But they make shitty pay. They're away from their families. I totally get the consensus of why. I totally get that. But the worst job in America, I don't know about that.
No, and so you look at it at that standpoint, right? And everybody knows, at least from, I guess, my generation of soldier and Mink's and Owl's generation, is that we all know what it entails to raise your right hand and swear that oath and be ready. I mean, that's it, and that's what makes our community so great and so tight, is that we all understand what that means. And that's why I feel when a mission like yours, a business like yours, when they want to give back to that community and that family that becomes a part of that community after their sons or daughters sacrifice, it's what makes our community so great, in that there is support out there for those individuals and for those families.
Well, I have a good friend that's right now, and his name's Specialist Jeffrey Sonk. And Jeffrey was in Walter Reed for 2+ years. Unfortunately, he had a soldier that a little bit crazy and murdered 2 guys, shot him. He lived. And he survived. And Jeffrey and I have never met. And someone reached out to me that said Jeffrey wants to cook, and he loves wine. I'm like, God damn, this guy is awesome. I love this guy. And I arranged for Jeffrey to go out to Napa Valley to learn about the vineyards, to hang out with his wife, Ashley, and just to have a good time. And, needless to say, in this business, you meet a lot of great people, a lot of people that are willing to help. You just have to reach out a little bit. And, here's Jeffrey and his wife. They have 4 kids. And this poor young man's been shot in his head. He's not supposed to live. Everybody's told him he's supposed to die. And now he is going to culinary school. And he's going to Johnson & Wales down in Charlotte, North Carolina. And now we send him to Napa Valley, and he gets to meet some cool people. And lo and behold, he gets the interview for one of the best restaurants in the world, the French Laundry in Bouchon by Thomas Keller.
Really?
Yep. And he'll be out there at the end of this month.
Holy shit.
And Jeffrey was not supposed to live. He wasn't supposed to live. He wasn't supposed to talk. He wasn't supposed to walk. But the thing is he's like, Dave, April 28th, I got my interview. I've never met this man in my life. But the Walter Reed Hospital called me and said, Dave, can you help him? Damn right I can help him. That's easy. And the thing is, I tell people all the time, it had nothing to do about money. Had nothing to do about anything else but giving of oneself.
Yeah, and it's amazing how powerful that can be.
And that's it. And the thing is, Jeffrey and I, we were laughing because he saw me smoking this weekend on the smoker. He's like, I want to come out and smoke with you. All right, brother, let's go. I've never met this young man in his life. Never in my life. Let's eat, let's drink, let's have a good time. This guy's got 4 kids and a wife he's got to take care of. And he wasn't supposed to walk or talk. He's not even supposed to be here. But he's going out, and he's like, Dave, I never trusted anybody. He was like, after I got shot, I never trusted anybody. Never met the man face to face. but let's go have a good time. He's a cool dude.
Well, I was going to say, my hat's off to you. You know, you're living your word. I mean, like I said, when I look through everything that you have out there, and now I listen to you, you are living what you say, and you live in the word.
I appreciate it.
My hat's off to you for that. My hat's off to you.
I appreciate it. Well, you know, it's like I said just a little while ago. I always tell people all the time, it's not, you know, it's not always about money. You know, giving some of these guys and giving some of these families just a little sense of normalcy for a while is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And really, what does that mean? You know, you just hang out and have a good time. It's like the first time I met Christian. Christian basically told me, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I'm like, I'm not sure, but you're a good guy, you know. And he's like, I'm like, can I come and visit you at Walter Reed? And he's like, why do you want to visit me? I'm like, I just want to see what you have to deal with every day.
Yep.
And, you know, going down to the depths of Walter Reed Hospital, if anybody's ever been down there into physical therapy, shit, it's, you know, my son and him got busted playing baseball downstairs. He's like, but man, you told me to be active.
That's
How you
awesome.
gonna get mad at him then?
Oh God.
Okay, here's to help get a little bit promotion in here. Okay, give us the
Right
flavors.
on.
Come on, give us the flavors of the beer. Come on.
Well, the cherry wheat, which you guys had earlier, cherry wheat, everybody always talks about, oh, it's going to be sweet. Completely 100% opposite. It's light, it's refreshing. As our brewer says, it's the poundable beer. You're cutting the grass, you're hanging out, it's 90 degrees outside, and you want to crush a beer, that's the cherry wheat. 100% American filtered wheat beer. Cherries come from Oregon and Washington State. The IPA, one of the things I'd say about it is if you're not a big, massive hophead, then this is your beer.
Really?
Yeah. Like I don't want to beat people over the head with hops. And I think a lot of people in the beer industry, they want you to, it's as hoppy as humanly possible. That's not our beer.
Like, and honestly, I honestly do not like IPAs. Then
I'm gonna beg you to try it.
But simply because, like, every single one that I've tried, it's been like I've swallowed a Christmas tree.
Correct. You might as well have swallowed a pine cone. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm
Absolutely. Then I'm going to tell you, we've had the beer running inside of Epcot and Disney for the last almost 3 years.
Wait, what?
And they've never changed.
You go.
Hold on. Time out. Where in Epcot? Because I may visit there a lot. I'm just saying.
Well, so we've got multiple places in Epcot, but they call it Block and Hans inside of the Epcot Center.
Mm-hmm.
Block and Hans always has this, and I always tell people the fun story. This wonderful older gentleman looked at me, and he said, my son turns rocks into pebbles and pebbles into sand. And I looked at him, I'm like, man, this guy's fucking crazy. And he turned around to me and says, my son's an F-18 Marine Corps pilot. I'm like, right on. You can have this beer, sir. And it was just like we connected on that level. But it's in multiple areas. But Epcot is always there. But we're ESPN, Worldwide of Sports.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in multiple parks inside of Disney. And then the Golden Ale for me, personally, beginner's craft beer. The guys that are still sitting there hanging on to their Budweiser, Bud Light, Miller Lite, They don't want to give it up. Please humor me. Just please try it, because we're on the same level, but we just might have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more body.
Like
That's
a real
all.
beer?
Just humor me a little bit.
God, that's awesome.
And then the maple porter, not insanely over the top, meaning it's not very big, it's not very bold. You get a little bit of grade A maple syrup, but I don't want you to eat your pancakes and your French toast and your beer. I want you to be able to enjoy your beer. I don't want it to be very powerful. It's only 5.5% alcohol, so enough just to get you by, but nothing that you're going to pour in your pancakes and your French toast.
No, so I'm a porter guy, and I absolutely love it. It's a great balance.
Thank you.
It's not as heavy as like a Guinness or an oatmeal stout from Left Hand or something like that.
Nope.
It's great balance.
Yeah, we got 2 beers coming out. We do have a double IPA, which we call Desired Effects, and that's another funny story. Desired Effects, as I said earlier, thinking that we're going to kill people and make people drunk, but no. It is an IPA, 7.5% alcohol, and then we do have a very simple, everyday man's lager, or woman's lager, of course. But on the front of the label, we have American flag that does have a blue line in it, and the stars are our little boots.
Awesome.
And, obviously that's a salute also to our first responders, but nonetheless, the guys and the girls that don't want the heavy, over-the-top, beat me in the head with a beer, I totally get it. It's just one of those beers. Just have a good time. It's the everyday beer.
That's awesome. And with that, we're at the top of the hour and time for another break, Nation.
Wait, I have one more question.
Minx has got another question.
Oh, right on.
Question. So if people were to come to the brewery, do you guys offer tours of the brewery and then like flights of the different and like samples?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We've grown our company sort of opposite of everybody else. Our brewery is opening probably by the end of this year. Our personal brewery where we, have fun. We're going to have a huge, massive wall of honor. The families are sending us things that I'm completely 100% shocked. But
you're going to have to send us pictures.
Oh, absolutely. That's a no-brainer. Absolutely. But we will be open to the public by the end of the year. Yes.
Indubitably.
Right? Indubitably. I'm going to have to make a trip up there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, let's put it this way. It was so funny. The head of Rolling Thunder called and said, "Hey, we'd like to do," and I'm like, "Bro, we can't. I can't hold that many bikes. It's impossible." I'm like, we will have to contact Fairfax County to close the street. We can't do that. And but it's going to get there. We're as proud and no pun honored that people want to come and visit and hang out. And it's when moms and dads and wives contact you to tell you that they want to send you, we have a battle cross that travels with us to all of our beer events, and everything on the battle cross is donated by families. And people are like shocked that we have this stuff with us. But I just look at it differently, is that, the families want us to be able to tell their stories, and we're going to do it.
That's awesome. Man, again, David, I can't get over the the business and the great product that you produce, and 2, the mission.
Thank you.
The mission is amazing. So, Nation, if you are in the area where they distribute, try it out, taste it. It's delicious. You will not be disappointed, and you'll also be supporting a great cause. California, if you're listening, heads up, they're coming. So you'll get your crack at it.
Oh yeah.
And
It's a good time. Absolutely.
So with that, Nation, hold on. We'll be back after the break. And shots.
Shots.
Sanctuary I provide. don't see nothing at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked. If you bleed, you won't feel it, you won't see me at all. And you can fight, you can hide that you're naked.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
And Nation, we are back for our third and final hour of Tied Up Tuesdays. Minx has been called out to save the world, so you are stuck with myself and Owl only. Minx, if you are still listening on your way to save the world, safe travels to work, and hope it's a short shift for you. But no, that was a really, really awesome interview.
It was great. I mean, like I said, I was actually taken back when I looked at his page. I sat there and said, okay, either this guy is really about it, or he's putting up a damn good front, and he's really about it.
Oh, he's really about it. And Nation, if you want to know what honor sounds like, there it is.
So you having the maple?
No, so I had the maple, so I'm having another cherry wheat because I can't do another heavy one right now. just to be safe, because 4 o'clock comes early.
Yes.
Yes.
You, the ever vigilant student and worker.
The glorious East Coast time frame I'm on. But yeah, no, that was awesome. Again, Nation, awesome story. HonorBrewing.com is their main site. They do have a link to their wine site as well on that same page, so you can get to both. Again, phenomenal interview. I've been wanting to have him on the show for a long time. Basically since I saw that, since I found them, and it was great that it finally come to this, and we were able to make this happen. Man, it's good mission, good product, delicious product, and what they do is phenomenal. But I digress. Time for some more serious things and whatnot.
And whatnot, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Damn right, Christopher Crawford. The Eagle will rise. So, let's see here. What do we want to tackle first? You know what? Let's just cut to it. YouTube shooting injures 4. Woman believed to be shooter dead, police say. Let me see if I can hold on. Let me refresh this quick, just in case, because I've had it up for a hot minute. 19 minutes ago. Well, 4 hurt. Wow, look at that. They changed the headline. 4 hurt in YouTube shooting chaos. Woman believed to be the shooter is found dead.
Yep.
God, it's amazing how quickly the headline changes, right?
Well, that's the fun part of being in immediate demand society and social media.
Yep. So the article opens. Nation, this article is on Fox that I'm coming from, and it was updated again 19 minutes ago. A woman opened fire at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California on Tuesday in a shooting that left 4 people injured before she turned the gun on herself, police said. Authorities are investigating the incident as a domestic dispute, 2 law enforcement sources told the Associated Press.
Domestic?
That's what they're saying, domestic. The victims included a 36-year-old man in critical condition, a 32-year-old woman in serious condition, and a 27-year-old woman in fair condition at San Francisco's General Hospital, officials said. Police said 3 of the 4 victims, not including the shooter, were shot, and a 4th person suffered an ankle injury. Sorry. I'm trying not to laugh. This is a serious situation. I got nothing.
Well, I mean, come on.
Turning to run, maybe?
That person who had the hurt ankle is sitting there going, no, please, don't tell anybody.
No shit. I twisted my ankle. Yeah. Witnesses told KTVU TV that the suspect shot her boyfriend before killing herself, but police would not confirm identities or a possible motive. Investigators said the incident did not appear to be terrorism, the Los Angeles Times reported.
Oops. Someone jumped the gun.
In response to the shooting, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcik tweeted, "There are no words to describe how horrible it was to have an active shooter at YouTube today." Of course not. You're in California. There are no words for anything, ever. Our deepest gratitude to law enforcement and first responders for their rapid response, she continued. Our hearts go out to all those injured and impacted today. We will come together to heal as a family. The gunfire lasted approximately 30 seconds. 30 seconds, witnesses told the San Francisco Chronicle. The suspect's face was reportedly covered, leading some witnesses to think she was male. Well, it is California.
Well, yeah, you just can't tell anymore.
Did you just assume her identity?
Down in California, of all places.
Yeah, I know. Zach Voorhees, a senior software engineer at the Oh, wow. We'll get into that in just a second. Zach Voorhees, a senior software engineer at the company, told the Associated Press that the fire alarm went off, but employees didn't realize it was an active shooter situation. As they calmly exited the building, he said he saw a shooter in the courtyard shouting, "Come at me," or "Come get me," Voorhees said. He froze and saw a victim on his back with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to his stomach. An officer armed with an assault rifle then entered through a security door, he said. Wow, they were sure they got that in there, didn't they?
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, hey, he responded quickly.
Yep. San Bruno police confirmed on Twitter, Jesus God, that they were responsible for responding to an active shooter. Excuse me. They previously tweeted that there was police activity at 901 Cherry Avenue, where the company's campus is located. They advised the public to stay out of the area. President Donald Trump tweeted, of course, that he was briefed on the matter and added, "Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved." He also thanked law enforcement and responders who are on the scene. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders previously told Fox News that the president was briefed and they were monitoring the situation. San Bruno City Manager Connie Jackson told KTVU the situation was relatively secure about an hour after the gunshots were first reported. Users on social media indicated that ambulances were arriving and nearby offices were on lockdown. Many claimed there was an active shooter. There are various tweets about the situation. The San Bruno Police Department told Fox News that it received at least 50 calls reporting gunshots. Aerial images from KTVU showed officers on the scene with some patting down a line of people outside.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And the story continues, Highway Patrol telling them all this other stuff. Google Communications tweeted, YouTube situation. We are coordinating with authorities and we'll provide official information here from Google and YouTube as it becomes available. Wow.
Okay.
So
the people who no longer want to have guns on their pages.
Right. Now, here's what's interesting. Okay?
Okay.
From my take on it, anyway. is that they said there was gunshots, right?
Okay.
The only mention of any type of weapon is from a witness who said they saw an armed officer with an assault rifle enter.
You notice that too.
That's the only mention of any weapon throughout the entire article. And this is on Fox News, mind you.
And they didn't even mention what she had.
They did not. So it's interesting that that's what they want to go with, but they were sure to get the term assault rifle in there somehow, even though it was a Leo that had it.
Yeah, that just begs to, okay, what reason do you feel the need to bring in that, especially since it's one of the people who are responding?
Right. Why is there a need to mention what they are carrying?
Unless they're going to claim that, oh, that causes PTSD in and of itself by seeing it.
Yeah, it's very interesting that that's what they want to go with, right? Again, this is, let me see who actually wrote the article. Sometimes it changes. Nope, it's somebody on Fox apparently. Usually it's attributed to, it's not attributed to anybody else, or like they got it from the AP or the Wire or anything like that. It's
yeah, look, by Elizabeth, yeah, Fox News.
Yeah, Fox News. So it's interesting that, wow, it's not even trending on the other news network that we won't mention at the moment. Yeah.
You would think that they would be lit up for the fact that, one, it was in California, and two, it was a shooting situation.
Yep. And by the definition now, right? And I'd like to look that up too. By the definition, this is a mass shooting.
Exactly. 3 people injured and one person who managed to somehow twist their ankle.
Hurt their ankle. No, it doesn't say twist. It says hurt.
You're right. Injured. Excuse me. We don't want you to feel bad about the fact you hurt your ankle.
They suffered an ankle injury. Maybe you have weak ankles and couldn't stand it.
Well, come on, office workers. How many of those? They didn't say if it was a man or woman. Maybe it was a woman in high heels running down the stairs.
No.
No?
No, I don't buy that for 1 minute. I don't.
How inappropriate can I be?
It's very, very interesting. That's an interesting statement, Joe. And Facebook Live is that YouTube will try to wipe this incident from history. That would be interesting. Adjustable rifle.
Well, I can see what he's saying, though. I mean, they're now touting the gun control also. And this was in a domestic violence.
That's what they're taking it as right now, is a domestic, what did they say?
Oh, yeah, it's domestic violence because she shot her boyfriend.
Well, that's the rumit right now. Nothing is confirmed.
Well, yeah.
Domestic dispute, that's what they're calling it. A domestic dispute. No, I think we're well beyond dispute. Somebody gets shot, it's well beyond dispute, right?
Yeah, at that point you're saying with intent to what?
Yeah, this is clearly an intent to do much more than dispute with somebody. Because when I think of dispute, I'm thinking there's gonna be an argument, maybe fisticuffs. You're looking to be shot. You're looking to. Oh, damn it, Casey! A man in high heels. Did he have a duck face like this?
Hey, come on! You're talking California. You never know.
This is true. This is true. A domestic dispute. Yeah. So when you think dispute, you think an argument, fisticuffs, maybe at the worst fisticuffs. But this goes back to everything. This all ties back into everything we want to talk about, and all that other garbage. Is that bad people are going to do bad things no matter what.
Exactly.
Right.
You don't have to have a gun. Hey, if I'm that angry, I can pick up anything and make it a weapon.
Right. Look, prisons. I saw this thrown out there earlier today on one something I read. Prison, what should be the most secure places, right?
Yeah.
Criminals can still get weapons and build them.
Oh yeah.
Right? They build them. Granted, it's not
Go
a
ahead.
firearm, but it's a they call it a shank or whatever you want to call it. And it can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Why? Because it takes those officers time to respond to the situation.
Oh yeah, and they make sure to take the best time when the officers have the least ability to get them with dealing with crowd control on top of it. And a shank can, they even sit there and say toothbrushes.
Yep.
They can file down one end of it to make it poke, and that's all you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah,
you hit somebody in the jugular or inside of the thigh,
Oh yeah.
Underneath the armpit. There's not much you can do from them at that point. If we had Minx, she could tell us all the cool vital places of that are effective for that kinds of things.
Well, the thing is, even going for the vital places, you don't have to go for the vital places because a blunt, even though it's filed down, it is still sharp enough to go through the skin. It's going to cause trauma.
Yep.
And that trauma in and of itself is going to cause enough pain that person is going to go down. There's going to be screaming. There's going to be turmoil. And as far as where you can hit, there's some really nasty places to hit.
That's true.
So no, working on a psychiatric ward, we had to take away patient stuff because they would actually use it on themselves, and sometimes they'd try to use it on us so they could try to get away.
That would be impressive.
Oh, I've actually had to deal with that type of situation before. I've actually had to, we've now not getting into particulars, but psychiatric wards aren't as stable as people think. And especially if it's a lockdown psychiatric ward and the power goes out.
What, do all the doors open up?
Yes.
Oh, really?
They were powered doors.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we warned them when this was a new ward, and we sat there waiting. The first thing we said is, "These are electric." Well, yeah, all it's going to take is an outage, and we are going to have a problem.
They're the magnet electric doors, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So I've dealt with in my profession. I've dealt with those. Yeah, and when the power goes out, you have an issue.
Oh, I had to chase a patient, and he was combative, and he was bigger than me.
Oh shit.
And I'm running in whites with military. Our military, not boots, of course, not the stuff that could possibly help you, but those flats that have no traction whatsoever.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then when you catch them, what are you supposed to do? Tackle them in a white uniform that has no padding whatsoever.
Oh, that's going to hurt a lot.
Oh, I came up with some fun scrapes. But no, patients, we used to have to strip them down, and not just because, we had suicidal watch, but sometimes those guys were actually out to hurt. And they would, because they were put on watch, sent to us from the MPs because they were considered being under observation so they could be evaluated, and they were killers. And we knew exactly what to look for. We knew, we had to actually brush their teeth for them so they couldn't have a toothbrush.
You're joking, right?
No.
You had to brush your teeth for them.
Yes. Some of these guys, you get some people who weren't as dangerous, but you got some dangerous ones. And to the point where they would have 2 MPs, and you're not supposed to have weapons on a psychiatric ward. I've actually seen weapons on a psychiatric ward.
Were they less than lethal?
No.
Oh.
No.
Right. And so, Nation, just so you're aware, that is the actual term. Non-lethal is not a real thing. The term is actually less than lethal, because, let's face it, all weapons can be lethal. So the term is supposed to be used as less than lethal when the rubber rounds and the beam bags, whatever else you want to use, the term is less than lethal.
No, they were actually carrying, and I've had a couple of those instances. I don't get into those because that would actually identify me really well. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind my identification to be out there somewhat, but that would get a little too easy.
No, yeah, we're all about the protection here.
But no, on psychiatric wards, they actually. Here's the funny part: you talk about the prisons, okay? When they got rid of psychiatric specialists, you know what our option was to keep from being put out?
MP.
Jailer.
What the fuck?
Yeah. There's an actual MOS to work in jails.
That's impressive.
That's all that they said. That was the transfer.
No bear program, no nothing like that for you?
No.
That sucks.
See, I'd already gotten out of that job before it happened, but I was still around when it happened and had friends who were in it, and the options were just so terrible. If you were an if you were an E5 or higher,
mm-hmm.
They just said, well, guess where you're going.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep.
God, that would suck ass.
Because E4, you're trainable. E5, you're locked in. Unless it's a really open MOS, you're locked in.
Yeah. Fuck that.
And they kind of frowned on us psych techs, so they didn't really want to put us in things like that had responsibility.
Yeah, well, come on. No.
Come on. I'm not joking. Psych techs were some of the most notorious people in MedCorps.
Oh, so I got a notification that there is an MOS for corrections, and it is located at the Leavenworth.
Yep.
But yeah, so I was staying corrected that there is an MOS for it. Whatever. It sounds so glamorous to be at the Leavenworth. Poke assignment. Anyways, sorry. But yeah, no, it's interesting that. Where the hell were we going with this? Wow, this turned out really interesting.
Well, we were going with the fact that, okay.
Oh, weapons. Yeah. So weapons can. Yeah, okay. Again, and it goes back to our whole argument earlier about the Parkland crybabies, right? Now, hold on. Now, I am not belittling the fact that they went through. There are certain individuals and a handful of them that went through a traumatic event. That is not what I'm belittling. Okay.
No.
First and foremost. Second, the thing I am belittling is that they are crying about this privacy bullshit when they want to climb into the arena with adults and they said it themselves, right? Oh, this wouldn't have stopped the shooting. Well, no shit. You just proved your own point that it wouldn't have mattered what was in place or what laws or rules or regulations were there. It would have happened anyway. So you have just destroyed your own point with all this gun control garbage and all this hitting on the political arena and all this other shit. Bad people are going to do bad things. It doesn't matter what laws are in place.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, okay, he could have been caught, but not from what they're doing, because the actual laws are already in place that would have actually caught him had they been enforced.
Yep.
So to sit there and say, oh, we need more and more. No, they didn't realize they were just being pawns of the media who have their own political agendas. And now they're waking up to the fact that being a pawn has its downfall.
Yep. And now you have your clear backpacks and your bag inspection station and all this other shit that goes along with being in a school that has had this. And it's not even close to prison. Assholes.
Oh, no.
Again, like I said earlier in the first hour, if you want it to be like prison, I'm sure your administration could accommodate you for such fine representation. Now, switching gears. So now that we've got the YouTube thing out of the way, it's even more hilarious. Utah Gun Exchange plans video hosting service after YouTube changes policy on guns.
A video. Run that by me again.
So the Utah Gun Exchange is a very pro Second Amendment, very pro gun, and they do a lot of cool. There's a lot of cool videos out there. They're on Facebook. You can find them. So they're looking to stand up their own video hosting service for guns.
Okay. Yeah. I think I kind of caught that one myself. I saw that a little bit of that.
Yeah. So, Salt Lake City. YouTube recently announced that they're tightening their restrictions for videos featuring guns, and some Utahns say they are feeling the heat. Okay, everybody is tracking that right now. Haha, and YouTube got shot up. Anyways,
couldn't help yourself.
No, I could not. In the aftermath of this school shooting in Parkland, Florida, YouTube is banning videos that provide instructions on how to make a firearm, ammunition, or accessories like bump stocks and suppressors. It's funny because I saw a couple of videos about the oil can garbage the other day. I'm just saying. YouTube is also shutting down any videos that talk about or advertise the sale of guns. The move has prompted backlash from gun owners and enthusiasts who say it infringes on their rights. Now the Utah Gun Exchange says if YouTube won't host their videos, they will find another way to share that content. We have prepared to be able to communicate with the community of gun owners in Utah and nationwide, for that matter, said Brian McQuire, co-owner of Utah Gun Exchange. We have to be prepared to do that without relying upon traditional social media. Now, let's be real here. All it takes is a couple servers, a website, and they can probably make this happen. Now, will they have the power and the draw right away? Probably not, because obviously that takes time, that takes money, and then a lot of that come from sponsors, which I'm sure they can get. Milkwire co-owns UtahGunExchange.com, a classified service that caters to anything Second Amendment related. He said,
"Well, that sounds like someone we need to have here."
Oh, maybe, yeah. Hint, hint, Spanky, if you're listening to us still.
Of course.
He said YouTube suddenly shut down his channel the night before the March for Our Lives and March Before Our Lives events regarding the national debate on gun control. We don't know why YouTube took our channel down. Like I said, there was no communication that came from us or that was received by us from YouTube, Melquire said. The channel was restored in less than 24 hours after Melquire sent a press release demanding its return. But with the site's new policy on guns, he said he plans to launch the new video service for his content. It's called YouTube. Oh my God, that's funny. It's UGE Tube. But if you say it, it's Huge Tube. Melquire said. So if you come to Huge Tube, which will be on the UtahGunExchange.com, and you post your content for the community to digest, it will be there and will never be infringed upon. Melquire said the video hosting portion of the site should be up and running soon. YouTube has not released any public comment about their new policy since announcing it.
Of course not. They think they're in the right and they don't want to listen to anybody else.
Yeah. So again, when things like this happen, right? You have this huge divisiveness that's going throughout the nation, right? And currently, it's surrounding the Second Amendment and weapons ownership.
Yep.
You're going to create, and I hate to say it, it's great for entrepreneurs and individuals who are trying to get into some type of niche market and or start something new that will support those individuals who feel they're being wronged.
Yes.
Right.
And in this case, I mean, basically YouTube is kind of shooting themselves in the foot because they're now in the category of Facebook. And at this point, we're going to see all sorts of stuff spring up.
Yeah, I really think so. It was the one I would like to try and look up on YouTube is there's a guy, and what he does is he takes apart his, I forget what the hell he does. He takes apart his pistol, right?
Yeah.
And then he puts it back. I think he removes the spring, the buffer.
Oh,
and shit,
he was
right?
trying to tell people how to make an automatic.
Right. So he takes out the spring, right, the recoil spring, and then he puts it back together, and it stays together pretty well, right? and he just, and I don't have anything to demonstrate now, so and he just goes like this with it, and now it's much faster now.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine, because of a friend of mine, I get links like that, and it's guys who are basically trying to instruct people who have no idea what guns really are to do the wrong thing.
Oh, I saw a meme out there. It says, so you take the bolt from your AR platform, right, and you grind down all the teeth, and
I saw that too.
That'll make it shoot faster. Oh my god. Oh.
But see, because of that, I actually get some pretty cool stuff on Facebook. There's some companies out there that I'm going to see if we can get it that make special stuff for guns. Mm-hmm. Like there's this mini Gatlin.
Ooh, the 22 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's suitcase size.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And he actually sits there and demonstrates it, and he shoots. You want to get fish? And I'm just sitting there going, how much?
Well, so it's funny you say you want to get fish. So Iraq circa 2003, guys were fishing with grenades.
Oh god.
No, we would know shit watch because you'd hear it, right? You're like, what the hell is going on? And so you'd sit there and you see these guys out in a boat on the water in the location I was at, and they would toss a grenade. You'd see them, the whoop, and it'd hit the water, and then you see the whoop. You're like, what the fuck? Sure as shit. We'd get them to come over to the shore. We'd give them the riot act. What are you doing? And they'd be like, fishing. What do you mean fishing? And they do the whole hand gesture, and fish. And it was the weirdest thing. And by God, that's how they were fishing apparently.
Oh yeah. I people laugh when they watch movies where you sit there and say, what was it? Oh, Crocodile Dundee, when he went out fishing with dynamite.
Yeah. Oh
but
my God.
The thing is, it's a concussive, and there are people who will sit there and say, I'm tired of playing with the line. Let's throw this in. I'm hungry.
And I hate to say that, going back to like what Dave was saying, it's probably a drunk redneck that came up with that shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Drinking, this is taking too damn long. Let's try this.
But it had to be fun at the time.
But you know what? And it's probably still fun. Just saying.
I was going to say, come on, you can't tell me you wouldn't sit there and relish the thought of
not what
holding
I'm saying.
something that's big and nasty, dropping it in, and just sitting there watching.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you got the right time of fuse, though. I mean, let's be real. Because you got to time that just right. Because you don't want it too deep, because then you might not get anything. But if it's too shallow, it might, capsize your boat. Or destroy your boat, depending on...
You've put a lot of thought in this, haven't you?
I have, perhaps, yes. Because, let's be real.
Where's Great Cloud this weekend? Oh, he's out fishing.
Great Cloud doesn't fish. He does now. Now that he has, military grade explosives. Now, oh my God. Now we're on that. Hold on. So here's another thing that kills me, right? You talk about military grade and all this other garbage, and we're going to get into some of this other vet garbage here in a second, is that military grade, right? Nobody really understands outside the military what that means. They think it's this high-speed, whiz-bang fucking shit. No, that's not what it means. It is shit built by the lowest bidder. 9 times out of 10, it is a contract fulfilled by the lowest bidder. So, you talk about military grade? No, I don't want military grade. I will pay for some good shit. But military grade, yeah, not happening. Not something I want, right?
The only thing that I would say to I'd caveat to that is I wouldn't mind military grade if it's been tested by the military for one reason. Come on, have you seen some of the stuff that those guys put that I watched them actually. The first group that got a hold of Humvees, they actually just sat there and gave the Humvees to the guys and said, "Go
destroy it."
And the shit that these guys did. You know how the manual says it can run on rims for so long before it breaks down? There's a reason they know this.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason that magnesium run flat can, we know how far it can go.
They actually found some guys, the tires, and they actually sat there and said, "Okay, let's measure this." And the guys, they weren't in trouble.
Nope. God, that'd be a great job. DARPA does some awesome, crazy shit.
And then on top, okay, from a medic standpoint of view, okay, I will roll over at a certain grade. How do we know this? Well, we had guys who went this grade, didn't roll over, went up a little further, didn't, and then it finally rolled over, and the medics had to, okay, how far did they get up?
Yeah.
And it's like,
What I think what's a Humvee, like 43% or something it can handle?
Yeah,
it's pretty steep. I mean, let's not be real. A Humvee can handle a pretty awesome grade, but it's literally dialed into like whatever and a 0.% of what it can actually handle.
Oh yeah. But that's the interesting part when you actually see how they get this stuff.
Yep.
But other than that, you're right. No, I wouldn't want military. When I hear a manufacturer out there that talks about military grade steel, it's like,
yeah,
oh, that sucks.
I'm not going to trust that.
Or better yet, military grade aluminum.
Yeah. Tinfoil? What?
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's like,
oh yeah, this is.
You're kidding me, right?
This is fine. It's fine. It'll work. So the last thing I want to touch on, as we're running out of time here for the night, there's this whole vet thing that's going on out there, and I've seen the one post that's been circulated around or not. So I've never seen it firsthand. I've only seen it ever second or third hand. It's about it's these vets that say, "Oh, I carried an AR into battle or whatever, blah 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 blah, and I wouldn't want this weapon in the hands of civilians." In the hands of civilians. Okay, motherfucker. And I'll ask you this, and I'll ask the nation to chime in. Has anybody ever carried an AR-15 into battle?
Hell no.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Yeah, that's what I thought. You fucking idiots. We do not carry ARs in a battle.
No.
You're a bunch of fucking idiots for saying that. It's a completely different weapon. Now, mind you, it might be based on the same platform. And mind you, it might share a lot of the same characteristics. It's black. It might be scary looking to some people. And it shoots 5.56 NATO. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's still gas fed, recoil operated. Sorry, gas operated, magazine fed. Right? So,
yes.
But it's a completely different platform.
Yeah.
Completely different. To say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you first. Sorry.
Well, and the one thing that always rings out, and because I'm not ICE and I don't I'm not a constitutional specialist. The one thing that always rings in my head, and I think I'm right about this, is we are supposed to have available to us what the military has available to them for a reason.
Oh, okay. So, oh man, motherfucker, I did not want to rant tonight, son of a bitch. All right, here we go. So, this is the argument that always pisses me off, and this is why, right? Okay, everybody says, well, you know, the Second Amendment, the Constitution was written back in 1776, and all this other garbage, or 1775, and all this other fucking garbage. When muskets were, well, you know what? That's when the fuck, I forget the parchment and the quill pen were standard too, right? You know what? Got it.
Right.
We went up against the militia or whatever, the colonists, however you want to term it, right? We went up against the largest, most advanced army in the world at that time.
And the mercs.
Okay. And we handed them their ass. Right? That's how we won our independence. And I said this last week, is that if you were to tell me that if it were come to shove, and there was a no shit civil war or rebellion against the United States government, if you don't think we could get our hands on what we needed to be at a equal firepower of the tyrants and or military or whomever, the enemy we were going against, if you don't think that could happen, you are sadly mistaken.
Yep. That's when you become best buddies with a guy who from National Guard who was an armory who looks the other way.
Because you always hear that, oh, they got drones and tanks and planes and all this other garbage. Yeah, motherfucker. You know what? We'll have that shit too.
That's right.
I hate to say it. So don't come at us with this fucking garbage. Oh, you know, superior and more weapons and blah blah blah. And last time I checked, I won't put it past them, but I don't see a nuclear weapon being used on U.S. soil.
Well, you've seen the TV series Jericho, right?
Don't even start that shit. I love that show. 2, that is some far-fetched fantasy.
Oh, I agree with you, but still, there's some stuff in there that kind of goes,
Yeah, no shit. So it blows my mind that people say that the U.S. military's got XYZ. Well, you know what? The rebellion will have XYZ as well.
Damn straight.
So
at some point, those boys are either going to fight or they're going to hand it over.
Yep. And here's the other part about that, right? What nation did we get our backing from during the Revolutionary War?
Oh shit!
The Frenchies.
Now you're making me think.
We got it from the Frenchies. Yeah. So I say that because if you don't think that there might be other nations that might might want to see one side succeed or the other,
guarantee you.
So there'll be support on both sides, obviously. However, don't come out and say, well, they've got X, Y, and Z, and you guys wouldn't stand a chance. Motherfucker, you are so naive and sadly mistaken. That if
the nice part about being a civilian veteran versus one that's still in the military, we don't have to play by the rules.
No. And those individuals have to make that choice.
Exactly.
And you know what? Here, let me see if I can find it real quick, because it was last week. I think I threw it out there. God, my internet is so slow tonight. For myself, it is 5 U.S. Code Section 3331, and it does not. There's no statutory guidance, and there's no precedent that it ever has an expiration date.
Never has, never will. When you take the oath, you're a brother for life.
No. So just remember that, nation. Man, this was a good show tonight. That was a fast 3 hours again.
Yeah, it was. It was nice talking with you.
Yeah, it's good to have you on, Owl. It was great to have Minx on. And I want to give a shout out to Honor Brewing Company and David Keuhner, because I've been slaughtering his name all night, for coming on and being a part of our show tonight. Nation, again, we always want to thank you, and we love you for joining us. And let's do some housekeeping quick. See if I can pull up my housekeeping duties.
I have a cut sheet for one, and that's on 6 April, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Singer and Navy veteran Jerry Ann Saylor.
Mm-hmm.
Sailor Jerry is a Navy veteran from central Minnesota. While serving in the Navy, she worked as an aviation mechanic on F-18s with the VFA 83 Raptors.
Rampagers.
Jerry started playing guitar and singing for the long-term care at the VA and in the veteran support groups. In April of 2017, she wrote and posted Hallelujah Veterans Version. Since then, it's been viewed over 103 million times and downloads in 22 countries.
That's awesome.
She has been busy writing and in the studio ever since. Strong, her new single, was released on June 16th of last year, 2017. Jerry has an album due to release in April. Hey, we're there.
Mm-hmm.
2018. She is going to be showing up on Friday, folks.
Yep. So you only have the one? Because I got the rest.
I only had the one.
So next Tuesday, ooh, wow, look at that. We have another one. 10 April, Bob Regan from Operation Song will be on here. Mr. Regan is the CEO and Executive Director for Operation Song. He's a Grammy and Dove Award nominated songwriter with over 200 songs recorded by artists from Keith Urban to Roy Rogers. That's next Tuesday. Oh, wow. Friday, April 13th, as Ice alluded to last night, oh man, I'm going to slaughter this. Stolhansky, a.k.a. Rabbit from Super Troopers.
Super Trooper.
Yep. So, as everybody knows, the new movie is coming out. Super Troopers 2 will be on here. Go check it out. He will be on here on Friday the 13th, and that's a really terrible day, and I have class that day. That's going to suck a lot.
And Ice is going to be a fangirl.
He will be fangirling throughout. Holy cow.
And that's going to be my last night with Minx.
What?
Yeah, I'm doing this Friday, then next Tuesday, and then next Friday, and then I go to J Ready.
Oh, tinfoil hat away, my friend. Tinfoil hat away when you go there.
Hey, and then of course I'm always going to be on Sundays with Cause unless he decides he doesn't want my old man self there.
That may happen. I'm just saying, Cause thinks he's a young gun still. Oh, so to recap housekeeping, Nation, as you know, we currently have a show almost every night of the week. Tonight is Tied Up Tuesdays with myself and Minx. And tonight we have Al joining us, so that's really awesome. Again, thank you, Al, for joining us. Wednesdays is our Donza. We don't have anything planned on Wednesdays, and we're usually out playing some kind of game on the Xboxes because that's what we do when we have downtime. Thursday is Sergeant Times with Ice and guys from the main page, and they're usually covering all things active duty and how it's affecting the active force. Friday is Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Pookie. And Al, you're joining this Friday, yes?
Yes, I am.
Look at that. So there you go. And then Saturday is Saturday at Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie. And that gets a little crazy. Like, again, Nation, I tell you all the time, it is the one I remember is the Time Traveler, the recording from the Time Traveler they got. You got to check out that show. It gets a little crazy. And then Sunday, we have Kicking It With Cause and Owl. So join that show. I don't know what the premise is yet. So it's always going to be good. All our shows are great. We roll into Monday with the Monday edition with Ice, who's covering current events and the whatnot. and recapping the weekend events. And then we're right back here to Tuesday with myself and Minx on Tied Up Tuesdays. So, Nation, that's our show tonight. We've got nothing else. Again, thank you for joining us. Al, you got anything else?
Thank you for letting us in your houses and your homes. And just remember, one positive thought for 1 minute a day can change the whole week. Keep yourself happy.
Well said, my man. Well said. And with that, Nation, we will bid you adieu. And shots.
Shots.